your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
And welcome into halftime right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com across the natural state and worldwide on the old internet. Me and Maddie were talking about the internet a little bit earlier today and about how weird and different it is.
Times have changed.
The times they are changing, and they continue to change, especially in technology. And we've got a great show lined up for you. Got loads of guests today. Got Aaron Torres as always on Friday at 11:30. Then we have an old friend of mine, old colleague of mine, back from Memphis, Tennessee, Gabe Kuhn from Sports 56 Sports Time at 12 o'clock. Then, of course, then at 12:30, we will have the sideline reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, TJ Reeves, to talk all things Tom Brady and even get his unique perspective on the Antonio Brown situation that happened during the regular season where he ran out of the game basically in the middle of the third quarter up in New York and said deuces, took the jersey off, took the shoulder pads off and said, I'm out. And apparently from just texting with TJ about the situation before we have him here on today, he was only about 20 feet from it.
No kidding.
And the fact that he was able to be professional and describe it on radio, I think I told him in the text message, I was just like, how do you not just like have your jaw just dropping going, and then they just like, let's go down the sidelines. Mr. Reese, how's it going? I don't know what happened. Like, that is just such.
Is that what you would do?
That's exactly what I feel like I would freeze up. You know, I feel like I'm a professional, Maddie. I am.
You try to be.
I try.
Yeah.
I try. And I've been in this business a decent amount of time. I mean, we're coming up here, I think in the fall, it'll be year 9.
Yeah, you didn't just fall off a turnip truck.
Exactly. I've been doing this.
Years ago you fell off a
Exactly. I've been doing this for a little bit, but I feel like that would just throw me off guard so much. And it's going to be great to get TJ's unique perspective, talk to him about Super Bowl, other things going on in the NFL. So not going to want to miss that at 12:30. But back to what we initially started the show with. Technology is weird, and it has evolved so much. Like
in a very short amount of time.
It really has. I mean, just in my lifetime, 27 years, it has gone almost as far as what it feels like to me is the fact, like, to kind of compare it to another family member, a family member that's passed. Like my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather was born before cars were invented. When you were running around in horse and buggies, right? Maybe you're getting on a sidecar.
When they were using horsepower, it was literally powered by a horse.
Exactly. To before he passed away, he saw a man on the moon. I mean, just how insane is that? And I feel like technology-wise, we've already gone that far just in my lifetime. And now 94, for all of you old enough to remember, I mean, this technology out there. We had the internet.
See, for me,
we had the cell phones.
94 doesn't seem that long ago for me. The reason this...
For me, that's all there is. There's no 93.
This conversation came up this morning. We were talking about the internet because I was watching this Hulu show yesterday. We had a little bit of a snow day and some extra time, and there was a Pam and Tommy Hulu show, which is about the infamous sex tape that was released in the early days of the internet, which really kind of formed the way the people look at it and use the internet. And I was telling Drew, it's like, man, just to load a JPEG could take 3 minutes. You know, it would be like line by line. It's like, I think I'm seeing something. Is it going to be there? No, not yet. Yeah. So now we've got, walking around with watching television on our phones.
Exactly. We have computers in our pockets.
And we take it for granted every single day because it's something like that. I just stopped for a moment. I was like, it really is incredible. If you would have taken this technology and shown it to me then,
It's absolutely insane. I mean,
I would have been like a caveman.
I even remember, I think I was in middle school, maybe freshman year of high school when the first iPhone came out. And I remember a friend of ours who used to live across the street got it. And he came running over after he got it and wanted to show everybody off because, that was a cool thing to show off. I got one of the first iPhones, and I thought it was the greatest piece of technology that has ever been invented and ever will be invented.
I remember thinking at the time, how is this even going to work?
Exactly.
Like, there's no buttons on it.
Like, there's no
buttons.
to do? It's a computer. I can search the line.
I was really good at using the keypads. It was like type. You have to put type once or twice to get the right letter. And I was really good at typing.
I was good. I was good at the T9. I remember old T9 texting. But if you made me switch out this iPhone 10 right here in my left hand for a iPhone 1, I'd break it within an hour because I'd be so impatient. The internet wouldn't be working. Nothing would be loading. The fact of the matter is, if something buffers today for more than 10 seconds, I just get so irritated.
I mean, who has time for that?
I mean, exactly. I need to know exactly who that random person was in a random movie 45 years ago that I've seen one time and I can't even really remember the name of. I remember there's dancing in one scene, but there's also gunfights in the other. I need to know who was the third understudy for the star of that movie. I need to know the stunt doubles, who directed it, and I need to know it now. I ain't got time.
How did anybody ever sit through a whole movie without IMDb right there at their fingertips to look up every person that they kind of recognize or think they saw in something else?
I have no idea, and I know
how could you even watch a show like that?
And I know we've got plenty of sports to talk about, and I know I'm gonna get this text like, back in my day when we wanted to learn something or look something up, we had to go to the library. Like, why? That feels like it was so hard. Like, you actually had to really want to know something.
Oh, yeah. B pointed out the pagers were big.
Pagers,
and and you could put
never had
put
a
your
pager.
Phone number and then put hashtag 911 to show it's really important.
See, I've learned of the pagers. I've learned of car phones and phones that you had in briefcases that you carried around like a satchel.
Yeah, cell phone. The phone was there, but it was connected by a cord to basically a briefcase with a battery and antenna.
That's absolutely insane. You know what's not insane?
Sports
is not insane. Well, they can be. And in some situations, they definitely are. But what is not insane is how it could be insane, depending on how you look at it. Because it could be viewed as it's insane how well the Arkansas Razorbacks men's team's playing. And they are looking to go 8 straight this Saturday at Bud Walton Arena, 7:30 tip-off on SEC Network for those who will not be in attendance at Bud Walton. And they are looking to really cap off this month stretch that it's been. I mean, you got to think about it. We're going into game 8. They play 2 games a week. We're going into the end of 4 weeks. That's an entire month that the Razorbacks have had without losing. And to where we saw this team a month ago, to where they have truly developed and come around to, has just been absolutely incredible. I remember coming on these airways and talking about, I don't know if they can ever fix it. I don't know if it's the right set of guys. I don't know this. I don't know that. Does Eric Musselman know this? Does Keith Carter know that? I mean, what is the knowledge and what is the understanding of this team? And I remember saying the fact that everything looks great on paper, but sometimes you just can't force a circle peg in a square hole.
Or the other way around. Either way, it doesn't work.
I mean, exactly.
So yeah.
I always get the two shapes mixed up. I know I butcher sayings a lot of times, but everyone gets my point. To think that we've gone from that to where you felt like you were just constantly trying to force it to where it becomes unforceable and has just been absolutely insane. Maddie, do we have somebody on hold?
We sure do.
Cody's on line 1. Cody, welcome to the show. Appreciate you calling. If any of y'all have, before we get to Cody, have wondered why I'm doing most of the talking, Phil's not with us today. I don't know if I addressed that.
Why is he being so quiet?
To start with.
Phil, say something.
Come on, Phil. Pull your weight. I know it's Friday, but geez, you can at least try. No, Phil is probably just getting off of the plane right now. Phil and the women's basketball team didn't leave until about 10 o'clock today from College Station. So you just got me and Maddie T. Cody, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? I just thought that they couldn't keep that energy contained, and you were just a rock star, and you finally got where you were supposed to be, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. Sometimes, maybe I need to try this out more often. Just tell Phil we don't, there's connection problems because, he does a show from his house. We're like, man, we can't hook up with you today.
Yeah, we need it for baseball season.
Yeah, that's true. And we are only 2 weeks away from baseball season.
I mean, it's nice to have this input after a big baseball series, or even during Omaha and things like that. It's a cool connection. Hey, real quick, I was thinking about NIL and all that money and that situation. Everybody's like, players are getting paid in this. Man, Drew, I don't know for sure, and I was kind of hoping Phil was on today because I was going to ask him about this. At what point did there start being like, so you have the SEC as its own entity away from the university, but those kids, they always started playing for colleges. So I'm sure at some point in time, there was the universities were like a union, or they were the same thing as what each conference is now, like the commissioner of the conference and things like that. Is there still tying in between the universities and the actual SEC, that brand? Are there tie-ins with that, or at what point did that become its own entity away from the university? Because when you think of it that way, you almost think of it as, man, is there really even a tie-in with the college as far as, I mean, I know they get paid and it goes to the university, but it's always been about money. Even from the beginning, at some point it was sold because people just care about the money, So it's always been that. That's what the game is now. And if you're not trying to get in on that, if we're not trying to do things, we're just going to continue to be Arkansas. You've got to evolve and adapt. And if you don't do that, we're not going to catch up. I mean, I know A&M's got a different kind of money in Texas, and oil money's different. That's like grandfathered in money. But you're going to have to play catch up. That's the time now to be relevant. So if you don't want to, you're not going to stay relevant. You're going to stay 8-4, 7-5, things like that. But that's just my opinion. I'm kind of curious about that. I don't know how much you know, but that was just something I was curious about because I don't know it inside and out. But y'all have a good one.
Hey, appreciate the phone call, Cody. Yeah, when it comes to NIL deals, and I was trying to do my best to follow your point. I think you've got to. I think what you were trying to ask is, as far as NIL deals, how does that connect with the conference at large? What part does the SEC play into it as? And you talk about trying to catch up and constantly, trying to compete with money from schools like A&M that you brought up with your Alabamas, your LSUs. I think what you're trying to get is how could the SEC maybe step in and kind of level out that playing field? And that's just really the wild, wild west that we are in right now in NIL, that it is a wild, wild west. There is no caps. There is no really rules set in place on. There's rules set in place, but they're not really enforceable. I mean, because then you start talking about the NCAA and, how many different hands do you want on this rule? Because you can break it down so many different ways. It's just like anything else. You talk about government-wise, right? Like you got your presidents, you got your congressmen, senators, then you've got your governors, then your state senates, your state congresses, then your county mayors, then your city mayors, and then your city councilmen. And it feels like if you start trying to cap it that way, that it can get kind of weird and twisted from each step that it has to go down, because then you're looking at it going from NCAA up top, like federal government, and then you got your SEC, that's your states governments, and then you get down to the university as a whole. And it's just like with a lot of things, the rules are different at each level. So how do you become universal and kind of keep everybody in line the way that you're not constantly having to play catch up? I think that's a question for a much smarter man than me. I wasn't a poli-sci major. I don't really know all the ins and outs of how you set that up. I think I've got a basic understanding. I think I know what I would like to do, but as far as going at it and trying to put it into rules to where there is somewhat more of a playing field, I don't know how you do that, because then you get on the salary caps conversation, which I'm definitely not for. If somebody, and just so many different arguments when it comes to NIL. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait and see until hopefully smarter people than me figure it out. We're here on a no-fill Friday, on this snowy, icy Friday, all the way through the natural state. We appreciate you joining. You can text or call just like Cody did at 877-377-6963. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, right here on ESPN Arkansas, and hit that line.
Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16. Ace for the Elite Eight. Arkansas has won. Arkansas is going to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1995.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
We're remixed and remastered at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Some of your favorite apps, drinks, and desserts are now even better the second time around. Check out the sizzling cheesy bacon mac and cheese bites, a blast from the past with a whole new vibe. Also back are the famous Fridays fried mushrooms and the ultimate cheesy bacon cheeseburger. And all new at Fridays is the Oreo Madness, house-made giant Oreo cookies with cookies and cream ice cream coated in red and white sprinkles, served with chocolate sauce and a fresh strawberry. Come by or order online. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
COVID-19 cases are spreading across the state. Safe, effective, and free COVID vaccines are now readily available for all Arkansans ages 5 and up. Booster shots are also available for fully vaccinated people 12 and above. The vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe COVID. That means helping keep you from being hospitalized or even dying. Get vaccinated to protect yourself, your family.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-39.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
Wild one, wild one, wild one. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Welcome back to a fun No Phil Friday. Drew Barrett, Matty T holding down the fort in the fort here in the natural state on all 4 stations of ESPN Arkansas and hit that line. Don't turn my mic off. .com.
Sorry, I during that.
I know.
Should I go ahead and jump back on and make sure that they get the .com?
I know. I do a little pause, but it's for emphasis.
I have an itchy trigger finger.
You do. I'm just warning you. Next time I go and hit that line. .com. It's like Gaston's, right? It's like Tommy's Gastonry. A first class time. Every time, it's for that emphasis. It's building you up. Oh, what is he gonna say next? And you know what I'm gonna say, but it grabs you.
Some of those pauses, though, Tommy, it's like I feel like the dead air alarm's gonna go off.
It scares me.
Are we still on the air?
It scares me. So like most mornings, I'm sitting in that chair behind you, or doing the video stream and stuff, and most of the time I got my laptop out and I'm just typing away, doing show prep for this show. And he'll just be going through his reading. I'm not paying attention, and then I just hear nothing. And I go, huh? And I look up and I go, okay, he's just doing Gaston's. And he's just kind of bobbing his head, just going, every time.
Yeah, so we've both been in radio long enough that silence makes you panic.
Makes me absolutely
It's the worst
insane.
thing at a radio station is silence.
It does. Every time, and I know you don't want to hear us constantly say filler words. Like, I hate the guys that are constantly like, and so I
call
will
those verbal crutches.
Exactly. So I will pause, but I try to never pause more than like 1 or 2 seconds. And if I get to that second in my head, I will start to freak out, going, "Oh my God, what am I gonna say? I gotta say something. Gotta spit it out here." So yeah, just hang with me on that. Hit that line. .com.
That's the whole internet thing. I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah,
it's happening so fast.
Well, I mean, do you want me to start out with HTTP:// www?
Does anybody? We've gotten to the point where nobody even says www anymore.
You don't have to. I mean, when's the last time you actually physically typed in www anything? The internet does it for you.
Yeah.
It does it for you. You don't need to do that. One thing you do need to do is call us, text us, 877-377-6963. Got Aaron Torres coming up at the bottom of the hour. 2 guests next hour. Gabe Kuhn at the top at 12 o'clock. And then the Bucs sideline reporter TJ Reeves at 12:30 as we enter the golden hour. It's almost here, folks. We got about 38 minutes till we hit the golden hour, favorite hour of radio. We're going to get silly like normal. So it's time to be serious. Silliness is hour 2. And it's one of those things, when you have kids or nieces, sometimes you have to look at them and say, all right, we'll get silly. Well, that's coming. But we got to be serious.
First, the work's got to get done.
But we got to get the work done first. And that's what we're about to do here. And the thing that I want to bring up has been the Auburn nightmare and the Brian Harsin situation that's going on. And the reason why I'm being serious is because I'm taking a different angle than a lot of people when it comes to this topic. And I'm not saying that everybody that does this is flat out wrong, or the fact that you shouldn't jump on people while they're down. You shouldn't kick a man while he's down. Now, obviously, we all know that the Auburn program could be realistically categorized as a dumpster fire. I don't know if anybody would disagree with me. I don't know if Auburn fans would disagree with me that it is currently a dumpster on fire right now in Auburn, Alabama. But the thing that I want to talk to everyone here about is the jokes. I know it's real easy, when you see the rumors going on and you see what is probably an inevitable. I know, I messed that up. Everybody knows what I'm saying. Just move on. Then that he could possibly be fired by the end of the day. But here's the thing that I want to get across. It's real easy to laugh at that guy that's down. It's really easy to make fun of that program when that program's down. It's really easy to point fingers and ha, ha, ha at them. But you got to remember, it wasn't that long ago that everybody was pointing their fingers at you. Everybody's laughing at you. And it wasn't that long ago since the motorcycle. It wasn't that long ago since Chad Morris.
Ouch.
I mean, so I want everybody to remember that when it comes to this Brian Harsin situation. Just always remember, you never know when it's going to be you. It's easy to, make jokes at A&M for buying their recruits and for having this sleazy type of feel around the recruiting class. You never know when that's going to be you, when somebody's going to accuse you of buying your recruits with NIL deals. Now, I think it'd be a little easier to handle now that we have NIL. You know, that was a pretty big insult back in the day when that thing was just 100% frowned upon and you couldn't do it. But you never know. And I try to do this with every situation like this. Let's at least hear out the facts. You know, there's rumors out there about the football assistant, recruiting assistant. I can't even, I looked for like 30 minutes and couldn't actually find this woman's actual job title. Looked on her Twitter, her Instagram, all it says is Auburn University, Boise State alum 2019. She does something in the football department. And obviously, I don't have to go into detail of what the rumor is all about. You've all heard it. Let's at least wait until there's some solid facts about this. Because he's still right now being defended by his wife online. He's being defended by other people that are close to him and close to the situation. Now, if that's what happens, then yeah, it's a black eye on his career. It's a black eye on his marriage. I mean, the man is married. It's funny to say, hey, I don't like what you did, but I don't blame you. She's a looker.
Guys, you know.
I mean, come on, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's easy to say that, and I don't want to sound preachy, even though Reverend Drew is gonna be honest with you.
You're a man of the cloth.
I'm a man of the cloth, so I am gonna be a little bit of preachy because
unfortunately that cloth is a Memphis T-shirt.
I have a certificate that says I can be. Just remember that these are people, and you know whether these rumors are true, that woman is a real woman who now has to deal with jokes at her expense and has to hear this probably for a very long time of her life, of people wondering if she actually did it, if she actually tried to break up Brian Harson's marriage. So just remember, treat others with respect. These are people. It's easy to point and laugh. But you never know when people are going to be pointing and laughing at you. One thing that nobody's going to be laughing at, unless it's in humor, because the man can be quite funny, is Mr. Aaron Torres, as he will be joining us on the other side of the break to talk college football, college basketball, and a very unique situation that happened in Arizona last night. He was at the Arizona-UCLA game where a player got arrested after an altercation with a fan. We'll talk with Aaron Torres next about that and more right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Let the music play on, play on, play on. Feel it in your heart and feel it in your soul.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multifunction LCD display, super boom lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Spring crappie season is not far away, and Jelco Outdoors is stocked up on all the fishing gear you need for the spring season. Timmy Tom jigs, Redneck rubber, and Bobby Garland baits, K9 fishing line, Todd Huckabee rods, Shimano, Lew's, Zebco, and Abu Garcia reels. Just arrived, the all-new JB3 American-made rods. Get ready for spring fishing at Jelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Whether you are visiting one of Arkansas's beautiful national parks, or traveling, or maybe just living the RV lifestyle, Breeden RV has everything you'll need to make your trip a successful one. We have new travel trailers starting at just $158 a month, all the way up to Class A, B, and C motorhomes, and fifth wheels from all the names you know and trust: Thor, Forest River, Coachman, Keystone, and more. Check out the great selection of pre-owned inventory, and we are actively looking to buy your RV as well. BreedenRVs.com.
Finding an assisted living or senior care facility is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choose the best. Hope's Creek in Van Buren. At Hope's Creek, your loved one will be in apartment-style living, eating 3 home-style meals daily, and receive the care and services they need. The round-the-clock nursing staff monitors health needs in a secure, monitored environment. Plus, you can check on your loved one anytime with 24-hour access. Stop by for a visit at 2502 Fayetteville Road, or check out Hope's Creek online at hopescreek.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Here's an awesome addition to your toolbox at an amazing price. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or pro, right now Metters Lumber True Value has the DeWalt 37-piece screwdriving set for just $14.99. The tough snap-close case holds a wide assortment of bits and nut drivers for almost any project on your list. Each bit is cut from shock-resistant tool steel, and the snub-nose design fits perfectly into hex socket adapters. Head over to Metters Lumber True Value to save on this bargain of the month now, while supplies last.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Forget the working blues and let the good times roll.
Welcome back here to a Feel Free Friday.
So feel free to
call or text us at 877-377-69.
Feel free to phone it in.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to phone it. We can phone it in hour 2. Remember, I told everybody last segment.
That's party
Just like
time.
you have to do with children sometimes. All right, we can be silly. We can have a good time.
You got to do your homework first.
And mainly when I say what I've had to do with children, I mean what the missus has to do with me. Because as a kindergarten teacher, she'll look at me and she'll go, okay, we can have fun. We can do this. We can do that. It'll be great. But we got to clean the kitchen first. Or, we've got to go to the grocery store. And I sit there.
You do
and
that, you go,
I do. I roll my eyes. And she said, hey, if you want to have fun later, you're going to have to do this now. You got to put your big boy pants on. That's what it's like living with a kindergarten teacher. She treats you like a kindergartner, and hell, most of the time I deserve to be treated like one. But Drew Barrett, Matty T here on this Feel Free Friday. Just got a text message. Unfortunately, we will not be joined by Aaron Torres. He is stuck in airport security.
You said he got busted for smuggling drugs?
No, I didn't say that.
I was distracted.
I wasn't making rumors. I just got off a rant about listening to rumors.
That's the problem with, the telephone game. It's like, it starts off one way.
Tell one
by the time
person
it gets to me, the guy was smuggling hash through an airport.
Yeah, and had to be tackled by multiple officers and bit by drug dogs. So, I mean, But that's not the type of guy.
But that didn't happen is what
It didn't happen. If you hear that happen, that's just hearsay. Nobody said that. But we do have other things that we can talk about, especially, and you, like we said, you can call us at 877-377-6963. Matty
From
T,
all parts of
the world. And we've got somebody
not
outside of the natural
Not even
state.
in this state.
Who do we got there on line one?
This is Lashawn in Lancaster, Texas.
Lashawn, welcome to the halftime program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great, man.
Are the stars
Appreciate
at night
that.
big and bright?
Yeah, everything bigger in Texas. I can definitely say that.
What's going on? What you want to talk about?
I just want to say a couple of things. I'm a big time Hogs fan. I grew up in Arkansas. I've been in Texas for probably going on my 12th year.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I like what I'm talking about, the Razorback recruiting class. I think Eric Musselman doing a great job as far as recruiting for the last 2 years. He's doing an excellent job. But I have one concern about that, and maybe y'all can help me out.
Okay, we'll try.
Because I've been trying to figure this out. I've been calling my brother in Little Rock and trying to figure this out, and we came up with the same thing. I was wondering, the recruiting class, he got Nick Smith and the other guys, Jordan Wallace, that's his name, I think, and the other Ford guy, the other player from Alabama, and I got somebody else from a small town in Arkansas. I forgot his name.
Darren Ford?
Guard. No, the 6'6" guy. The white guy. I can't think of his name. What's his name?
Man, you're going to make me look really bad.
He's 6'6".
I know.
He was recruited from Kansas.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Maybe somebody on the text line will help
somebody will help us out because.
Oh, yes, sir. But I was saying that he has all these versatile players as far as like guards and stuff. They are tall and long. But my one problem is Arkansas do not have that size. Are they going to recruit big guys? I do not see him going after a big guy. I don't know if he's going to the portal for next year to get some size, because when I look at other teams like Auburn, they are big and long and physical. Are we going to start getting people that's small? Are we going to just play small ball? I'm wondering about that because if you look at it, they got at their lineup right now for next year, they only got really 2-3 big guys that's coming back. Okay, after that, who you have?
Well, Sean, I think that's the biggest worry about this team right now is obviously I think depth has been a big question mark around this team this year, just due to the fact that you've already limited your rotation right now. And if you don't have somebody else, in the wing further down the bench to kind of fill in what's going to happen if somebody gets hurt. And when it comes to size, I think right now you're banking really on a guy like Jalen Williams to come back again for a third year to kind of help keep down that front court. As far as like getting rebounds off the glass and helping you there. But luckily, I think that the game of basketball has changed enough to where you can play small, to where we are seeing a lot of teams play a 4-guard style of basketball where you see big men, and we see it in the NBA now all the time, where your 4s and 5s really step outside and have a 3 game that is becoming almost a positionless game of basketball. And I think that there is a concern about as far as size and brutality down low and being able to control the game that way. I think that can be a concern. But I think it can only be a concern when you walk into those handful of matchups, right? I don't think that's going to be something that you're going to have to face night in and night out, because it's a trend that I think everybody's following as far as, you don't necessarily need that true center, true power forward down there inside the block getting rebounds and putbacks.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that's I believe I understand what you're saying, small ball and stuff, how they started going along. It started in the NBA, and they started that. I forgot the coach that did that. I forgot his name. He was a New York Knick, Gundy, I think. Started that.
Mike Gundy.
But Yes. But what I'm saying as far as that's taken away from the big man. What do the big man, what do you got to say to a big man that's 7 foot or 6'11", 6'10", and he's a banger? I mean, you're taking away from the game from them or playing in the NBA. I mean, you're taking away. You got to be 6'7" to 6'8" and small and shoot threes and stuff like that. What about the post game? You're taking away the post game. The only post game you have in the NBA is that can bang with it is the guy from let me think of where he's from. He plays for Philadelphia.
Joel Embiid. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So what are you saying as far as recruiting? You're not going to recruit them type of players? You're just going to get the 6'6" guys, versatile guys that can play all over, and the big man, you're not just going to recruit them more?
Well, Lashawn, I appreciate your call. We are up against the break, but I will answer your question, right here. Unfortunately, the way the game's going, unless we have somewhat of a resurgence of banger basketball, you tell that kid in high school that's 6'10" that it can be a banger, that's got that size, that could look like, the next Shaq, right? I don't think you'll ever have somebody that big in today's game just because of the way that you play. It's more of an up and down game than it used to be. It's more full court than half court. Unfortunately, you just got to tell that guy, hey, we love that aspect of your game. It'd be great to have that part of your game in our game plan. But you better learn to shoot. You better learn to knock down a 3 or 2. You better be able to have that in your arsenal. It's becoming a positionless game. And I think it's entertaining, but I do get you, Lashawn. I do get the fact that it almost feels like we're almost creating a different game because you don't have the certain skill sets that make a guy a center, the certain skill sets that make a guy a power forward. You're pretty much trying to make everybody into a small forward shooting guard. That's what they want your 2 out of your 5 guys to be. You still need that true point guard. Every team still needs that distributor and that point guard. But I think the way that basketball is going and has been for the last few years, they want everybody else to be able to play the 2 and 3. And if you can do that, they'll put you at a 4 and a 5. That's just kind of how the game's going. Size still matters, I think. But you better tell that young man, develop a jump shot, be good from beyond the arc, and have somewhat of a shooting game from around the elbows at the free throw line. Unfortunately, it's just the way the game has evolved. As has this show has evolved, as we wrap up hour number 1 on the other side, taking your calls and texts on not just basketball, NFL, everything, anything and everything in between. We're willing to talk really close to silliness, so stick to us. Golden hour in just a few minutes. We'll be right back here. Drew Barrett, Matty T on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com.
It's time to stop searching and start driving. Between February 16th and March 7th, get $70 reward card or virtual account after online submission. With the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires, including the Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire. See MichelinMan.com for complete details. Offer expires March 7th, 2022. Void where prohibited.
Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin and Southern Tire Mart.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Checking in at the 4th oldest Ford dealership in America, Randall Ford at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Got my buddy Billy with me. And, well, Billy, I'm looking out at this STX F-150. It is a Venomar. It's a gorgeous truck. Already has all the toys added to it. So if somebody is looking to just sign the paperwork, get in and drive a truck that sets them apart from everyone else, then you have that truck for them.
We have it right here on our pad. It is an exclusive to Randall Ford. The Venom R thing is, it's here. Sign some papers and drive that bad boy home.
You know, if someone is looking for Bronco Sports, you got to transport in earlier this week with some new Bronco Sports.
We got 9 in, and look like there's about 3 or 4 more will come rolling up in here, so we got it. Let's go.
There you go. Come by and see my buddy Billy or one of the other sales professionals. 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the 4th oldest Ford dealership in America, my friends, is right here in your own backyard. Don't forget, you can always shop us online as well at randallford.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
First Western Bank. We are more than just a bank. We are your partner for all your financial services. First Western has real professionals with years of experience in banking, mortgage, insurance, and investments. From financial services to personal and business insurance to investment products, mortgages, and small business banking. First Western with locations throughout Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley and online at firstwestern.com. Exceptional financial services all in one place. First Western Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
August night and the leaves hanging down and the grass on the ground smelling sweet. Move up the road to the outside of town and the sound of that good gospel beat.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And welcome back, closing out hour number 1 on this feel-free Fun Friday Zone Playtime thingy. I don't know. I'm starting to run out of different ways of saying the exact same thing. But no, Phil, he, I think, is back from College Station. Him, Mike Neighbors, and the gang, who unfortunately came up short last night in College Station against the Aggies 77-64. We'll hear a lot more about that game, and I'm sure everything else revolving. Phil stay in the cultish atmosphere of College Station. We talked about yesterday his very creepy, weird Texas A&M themed hotel, and we'll get into that. First, I do need to tell you that this segment is brought to you by The Fence Man. The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fences and gates. And they are looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or just need a job, they're ready to hire right now, and they want you to apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street right here in the River Valley in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $5,000 signing bonus today. The Fence Man, apply in person. You got to apply in person. Can't do it over the phone. Got to get there. I know The roads are a little messy today, but they're slowly clearing up.
It's
Go out
warming
there.
up.
And I know they're not building fences today. Sean may or may not be there, so you might want to just wait until Monday. But go in person, 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The fence man is a equal opportunity employer, and he ain't afraid of no work. 877-377-6963 is our phone number and text line. And I want to just real quick, Greg and Mulberry, I didn't mean to make you feel bad, because with my preaching, with my hey guys, let's not point and laugh. Let's treat others the way that we want to be treated type of situation. And I will. He says now he feels bad about himself, and I just want to remind him as a man of the cloth. And I'm going to borrow a phrase from a very famous movie. Remember, the Lord saves, but George Nelson withdraws. I love that line. That's one of my favorite lines from Oh Brother Where Art Thou. So remember, the Lord saves, and the Lord forgives. So you're okay. There's plenty of room here in the flock, at the congregation of Pastor Paul, of Reverend Drew, whatever title you prefer. Which one do you think sounds better? I mean, because obviously Pastor Paul, and I know I'm getting a big head right now talking about my reverendness, my holiness. Well, and Maddie's just got a look on his face like, get out of here.
I'm thinking of my childhood. I was raised Catholic, so I was forced to call people who weren't my parents father, and I just don't want to go back to doing that.
No,
again,
you don't have to call me father.
I don't have to call you father.
I'm not a priest.
I'm like 10 years older than you.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be a little weird.
Brother?
Brother, I'm good
younger
with that.
brother.
Brother? Love my brothers and sisters of Christ. So we can go with that. But one thing I've had on the rundown since Wednesday that I've been wanting to talk about, and this happens all the time. And I'm glad that we have feel-free Fridays some days for me to finally get things off the rundown, for me to be able to actually talk about stuff. And I want to get Matty T's opinion because he's a pop culture guy. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to uniforms and names, that's a part of a city's culture, of their quote-unquote pop culture. And the Washington football team decided that they
just came out with the name. It took them, 2 years?
2 years.
Good God.
A year and a half, actually. July of 2020 is when they decided to officially drop the Redskins and go with the Washington football team. Worst kept secret of all time. They had it kept for a little bit, and they dropped it on Groundhog's Day. And they were supposed to do it at 10 o'clock.
But it saw its shadow, so they had to...
No.
Oh.
They already put up all the posters in FedEx Stadium, and they forgot to close the windows.
Oh.
So people were able to take pictures walking by the stadium the night before, and they see this big sign that says the Washington Commanders. It's like, oh, I guess that's it.
Oh.
Washington Command. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not very NFL-y.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It
doesn't do much for me, that's for sure.
It doesn't.
It doesn't even look good written. Like, I'm looking at the uniforms right now here, and it's
got the little patch there.
It certainly does not pop. That looks like almost like a military name tag.
I think that's what they're going for.
Oh, okay.
It is their thing, and they wanted to do, I guess.
Which those by nature are not meant to be flashy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how I feel about it.
And I would say that the colors, the combination colors, like the sleeves there, has kind of like a 70s vibe, almost like bad 70s curtains or something.
Yeah, I think that they probably could have done better. I think
certainly
it's not terrible.
I'm not impressed.
I'm not that impressed either, and I think that maybe it'll be one of those things that just kind of comes with time, that we'll eventually get used to it to where
they don't know who they are
in
anymore.
15, 20 years, the Commanders will sound very NFL-y. Will sound NFL-ish, We got a caller on hold real quick. Need to get to him real quick. Got about a minute. Who's on hold?
Real quick, JW.
Real quick, JW. Got about a minute.
Hey, Drew, you're kind of growing on me.
I appreciate
that.
You're
like a tumor.
I'm sure you're familiar with the Mark Combs song, "Walking in Memphis."
He's never heard it before.
Never heard it, JW. I promise.
Oh my goodness! Now you're hurting my feelings.
No, I'm joking.
Teasing JW.
JW, being from Memphis, it's a song that you either love or you absolutely hate because you hear it all the time.
I love it, so I'm going to think of you now as the Reverend Drew or Rev Drew. That's how I'm going to think of you from this point forward.
I appreciate it, JW. JW, thanks for the call.
JW, there you go. You remember when he called in, it's been months maybe, and about his song, it was Snake Pit.
Snake Farm.
Snake Farm. I saw the guy that performs that is coming to Fort Smith. So I was like, who is this guy? And it's like, oh yeah, JW. He turned me on to this guy.
Ty's going to be all over that.
Let me turn you on to something. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Now, unfortunately, because the roads are still a little slick out there, there's some icy patches. They're playing it safe. They're not going to be open today. But the good news is they will be open tomorrow. And what's going on tomorrow? The Razorbacks are playing a basketball game. During every Razorback game, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, they have half-price apps and taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina at 3400 South 74th Street in Fort Smith. Some of the apps they have, my favorite are the brisket nachos. Double-layered goodness. Brisket covered with Monterey Jack and Colby cheese, diced onions, queso fresco, and adobe barbecue sauce. They're usually $10.19, half price tomorrow during the Razorback game. Also, Joe's Sampler Platter, Chicken Faluta, or I pronounced that wrong, Ballpark Nachos. So many things to choose from at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. You can order online to pick up at joesfortsmith.com or give them a call, 479-478-9600. It's Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. You ain't had nothing like this before.
Yeah.
I added that last part.
Great job, Matty T. And there it is, hour number 1, silliness to come. And we're going to start the golden hour, the silly time as we've dubbed it here today, with a personal friend of mine, an old colleague, an old classmate, actually. We went to college together.
You went to college?
I went to college. And they gave me a piece of paper, too. I don't know how that worked out. But my old college classmate, colleague, now the host of Sports Time on Sports 56, Gabe Kuhn, he's going to join us to start hour number 2, so you're not going to want to go anywhere. Be right back. ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
It is here, fast, reliable internet from Wave Rural Connect. Cedarville, Uniontown, Natural Dam, and surrounding areas get fast fiber internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust based in Ozark, Arkansas. Internet starts at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone at $29.95. Order now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Do it now. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
The 2022s have arrived at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. From F-150s to Ford EcoSports, they've got everything in the new Ford lineup.
Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, we have a lot of new inventory that's coming in right now. I mean, here's some of the great news is we can go ahead and secure your financing, take a deposit on one of these vehicles. And, you know, here at Harry Robinson, we never charge over MSRP. A lot of other dealers around us in this area are still charging anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000 over MSRP. We are not doing that here. You get your rebates, you get your discounts. Come down here and see us. We want to take care of you.
And nobody's going to give you more for your trade, so trade in and trade up now.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we are the home of more for your trade, so why not pay less for the vehicle we're selling you and get more for your vehicle that you're trading? Come down here and see us.
The biggest selection of 22 Fords are right here at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the winter storm is out of the way, but we'll still be dealing with some very slick and slippery roads. Our high temperatures low 30s north, upper 30s south. Clear skies, we're down to near 5 north, mid-teens south, and then warming up into the lower 40s on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Ramos Roofing, specializing in all roofing needs. 479-420-9903.
I hate everything you just said. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
It's the golden hour of halftime, the last hour of the week. We've been serious. We've had a lot of interesting conversations through the first 9 hours of the show this week. This is the time where we let our hair down. We let loose. We just feel the good vibes, you know? It's all exactly. It's almost the weekend, people. I know y'all got a while left. If you're out there at work, I'm sorry. But me and Maddie, we've got like 59 minutes.
We're getting close.
And then it's a weekend. And then even more importantly, it's Matty T's birthday weekend.
Oh, that's right. It's birthday trip weekend.
It is.
Oh man, we're cutting it pretty close here with this weather.
Oh, I know.
I gotta drive to Oklahoma City to hang out all week.
Hey, will you be safe, okay?
Try to.
You enjoy yourself for your birthday. And somebody that I hope is being very safe right now is a former classmate of mine, former colleague, someone I like to call a friend, former offensive lineman at the University of Memphis, Gabe Kuhn. He's driving around Memphis, Tennessee right now. And Gabe, I know the roads aren't as icy as they are over here in the natural state, but I've heard about a lot of tree limbs being down. I've heard like 69 people have been without power in the Memphis metro area. First and foremost, are you being safe, and how's it going?
I am being as safe as possible. We do have a lot of limbs down. I've been avoiding them on the roadways. And also, the issue we really run into here, the roadways aren't bad. There's no real ice or issues there. It's the traffic lights are out, and you have to sort of navigate around that. So those are the issues we're having. By the way, Matty T, happy early birthday.
Thank you very much.
Birthday weekend? How
yes,
about that?
It's actually my the last year of my 30s is starting, so it's kind of a countdown to the other side of the hill.
Doomsday clock's about to start.
Oh, we don't have. Hey, you don't have to look at. Glass half full. We got to be glass half full about it.
Exactly, and I guess that's something that you have to look at a lot with this weather. Yeah, there's ice all over the roads here in Arkansas, but there's some pretty snow.
But it looks nice.
It looks nice. Did y'all even get any snow?
We got zero snow, Drew. I mean, it's just all it is the trees get coated in ice and the limbs start falling, and they take out all the power. So we have, I think right now, we're at about 127,000 people in the city without power. That's about 30%, or a little over 25%. So a little over the quarter of the city is without power right now. MLGW is working round the clock, but it is sort of rough right now. And I think the last update they gave for Memphis is that it'll be probably days for all of it to be restored. So we'll see what's happening. I'm going back to check on my house, see if that had turned back on, because last time when I talked to you, when you said you're going to have me on the show today, last night, I had power.
Yeah, you still had it.
You're the last. Shut off.
You're the last one I had texted yesterday that still had power, and I had probably talked about 15 people. You're the last one.
Yep. Power shut off for me about 9:30 p.m. last night, really randomly too, because there was no rain, no precipitation, nothing coming down. I guess I just got lucky until then, and it decided that it was not going to work anymore.
Well, on a positive note, has been the kind of get away from the snow apocalypse. I messed it up. I've been messing that up
with that
every week. It's trying to say snowpocalypse. I've messed it up all week. But to get away from that, and something that I think you being a former offensive lineman at the University of Memphis, that people would want to know your opinion on is Sam Pittman. And how would you have liked to play with a lifelong offensive line coach, and kind of what is your opinion around Sam Pittman, and kind of what it might be like to play for an O-line coach that has that type of mentality?
I love it, because you talk about a guy who's immediately going to change your run game for the better, who's going to establish a culture that you need to have in regards to being a tough, hard-nosed football team. That's what you want to. That's what you notice first and foremost about Arkansas, and what you notice about the Razorbacks is that they have changed the culture completely from when Chad Morris was there, and it didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. He seems to know exactly what he wants. He gets it in recruiting, and he brings it into the building and teaches them exactly how he wants things done. And my experiences with good O-line coaches is that they can do that. I know it didn't work for, when you think about Ole Miss and Matt Luke. I think Matt Luke's a really good offensive line coach. I think he's done a great job there at Georgia. It didn't quite work out there, but by all accounts with Arkansas, it's working wonders. And I also do think with him, he got assistants around him that were willing to adopt his sort of mentality. I think that Barry Odom, who actually recruited me to the University of Memphis, he is a hard-nosed guy too. I mean, he likes to get guys in the building that are comfortable being tough, that are comfortable when they're uncomfortable. And I also think Kendall Briles has done a good job of that as well. So I as an O-lineman, would absolutely love, to play for Sam Pittman, and it seems like his guys really do love it.
And you bring up Barry Odom, obviously the DC for the University of Arkansas. How long do you think how much longer do you think it is that he will remain the DC, or does he take a new job here in the next couple of years? Or do you think, actually having some personal connection with the man, do you think he might just be willing to ride it off in the sunset as a defensive coordinator and not have that pressure on him like he had in Missouri?
So here's the thing. I thought at Mizzou, I thought they were in all reality, I know he screwed up the offensive coordinator hire with Derek Dooley, and it didn't work out offensively, and that was going to be the one checklist item that kept him as the Missouri head football coach. And that didn't work out. I thought he was still unfairly treated, because you look at what Mizzou's done now, and you have Eli Drinkwitz in there. He makes one bad hire at D.C. With Steve Wilkes, and they were defensively one of the worst rush defenses I've ever seen in America. I've ever seen ever last year. So I thought he was unfairly treated at Mizzou, and I think that left a bad taste in his mouth to a certain extent. But for him, I would imagine if a good opportunity opened up, he'd be willing to go. But you are talking about a guy who was sort of burnt by his alma mater in Mizzou. A guy who sort of gave his all to that program and didn't get much in return. I think that he'd be willing to listen to offers to go elsewhere, but I think this time around he'd have to be very, very picky about which offers he's actually fielding and which he'd actually, pay mind to.
Yeah, and when you talk about, getting that second shot, a lot of time it's back home. It's hey, mom, when mama calls, you answer the phone and you go there. But after being burned by basically mama at his alma mater, what type of job do you think he's more willing to talk about? Is it a mid-major? Is it a G5 school where he can feel like he doesn't have everybody looking over his shoulder? Or do you think he wants that shot at becoming a SEC, Big Ten, real Power 5 head coach and possibly getting a shot at a natty?
So he has ties to the state of Oklahoma. And, something like Oklahoma State, or if that were to open up and they wanted him, if Mike Gundy ever moved on, something like that. It would have to be a job that has built-in success that is left in a good spot. As far as him being a Group of 5 coach, Drew, I've thought about that, and, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but if Memphis were to open up, maybe he'd pay some mind there. He certainly liked to stay here.
He almost he actually accepted the job before Missouri called. He was on a plane.
Right. I mean, he liked to stay here, so I think he'd pay mind to a higher level Group of 5 school like Memphis. But then outside of that, I sort of wonder maybe, if a SMU came calling eventually. But he's the type of guy where I feel as if Arkansas can fork up and find enough money to pay him on the level he'd be getting paid at a Group of 5 school. Now, if they've done that is yet to be seen. If they're going to do that is yet to be seen. But I think if Arkansas wants to maintain this level of success, they're going to do everything in their power to try to keep him around. And I think a lot of the fans would agree with that sentiment. Do everything you can as far as money is concerned to keep him in the building.
I think you're exactly right on that. I think that most people would sign up to keep Barry Odom as long as they can. I mean, because of what the experience that he brings as a coach, and we've seen what he can do as recruiting. We're talking with Gabe Kuhn, host of Sports Time on Sports 56. Now, Gabe, I've been trying to convince people since Sam Pittman changed agents that the devil does not work at the intersection of Poplar and Ridgeway. I've been trying to convince people that having Jimmy Sexton at the negotiation table isn't a bad thing. So as somebody who's driven by the office like me plenty of times at Poplar and Ridgeway, where we can understand college football can be possibly run, kind of help me get that point across and explain why having Jimmy Sexton at the negotiating table is a good thing.
For Sam Pittman, it's certainly a good thing because he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid the money that he's due, that he's earned, that he's done such a good job to obtain. So I think that's the part of it that people need to understand. Yes, he may eventually talk Arkansas out of more money, but Sam Pittman has earned that money. Sam Pittman has done some unbelievable things in his short time, in his short stay there. So I think people need to understand that he is owed more money, and that if there's a contract re-up situation, he should be able to get more money on his contract. Now, it's not a situation where you need to think of Jimmy Sexton as the type of guy that's going to go out of his way to sort of blackmail them and try to send him off elsewhere. You just need to think of him as a guy that is in a situation to help his client. I don't know if you need to look at it in a negative light as much as you need to look at it positively for the school and for Sam Pittman. I get where people are coming from because they've seen how Jimmy Sexton works in the off season. He's going to act as if at times with some of his clients, he's getting courted by so-and-so. They have an open job. He's really excited to go there, and usually he parlays that into a massive deal, and maybe that massive deal may not work out. But in the end of the day, Sam Pittman's got to look out for himself. Arkansas's got to look out for themselves, and I think they'll figure it out regardless of the situation. If they need to re-up, if they need to add more money, it'll all work out in the end, and I don't think it needs to be some big worry or issue of the fans in that regard.
My biggest point when it comes to Jimmy Sexton, we will move on real quick, only have a few more minutes, but has been that Jimmy Sexton doesn't represent okay coaches. He represents great coaches. Right. And if he's at your table, that means you've got somebody there worth keeping. Once again, talking with Gabe Kuhn, for the host of Sports Time on Sports 56 back in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, Gabe, one of the biggest things that's going to be talked about leading up into the next 9 days, it's up until the Super Bowl, I think, is the offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals. And really how much pressure defensive teams have been able to get onto Joe Burrow. And when you're going up against one of, if not the best defensive lineman of our time in Aaron Donald, how does an O-line make adjustments like this, especially to try to keep Joey B upright and to give them the best chance at winning when it feels like week in and week out they've just allowed sack after sack after sack? Is it on Joe Burrow for holding the ball too long? Because I know that you can only ask a guy to block so long, but it feels like it's been on that O-line.
Yes, it's on that O-line. Joe Burrow does not hold the ball too long. He generally gets the ball out quick, and if he doesn't, he tries to escape and make plays. He's one of the more escapable quarterbacks in the NFL these days. Very good pocket awareness. So his O-line has just been dreadful. He's the most sacked guy in the NFL. Now, I made this mistake last year, Drew, in the Super Bowl. I said that I thought the Chiefs could weather the storm, even though they had offensive line issues, and I figured that they'd be able to figure it out because Patrick Mahomes is escapable, yada, yada, yada. We saw how that ended up. Mm-hmm. We saw what the Bucs did to exploit that offensive line in the Super Bowl in a one-game game plan. The Bengals, the truth of the matter is you don't want to break up too much of your normal game plan. You don't want to have to try to send help all the time. You don't want to have a bunch of 6-man, 7-man max protections to try to protect Joe Burrow, because that throws you off what you would normally be doing. So I just think it's going to be real tough. To Joe Burrow's credit, to this point in the season, to get to where he's at, he has had to weather those storms. He got sacked 9 times in that Titans game. Luckily, his defense held up, and he did enough for them to win that ball game. Now, against the Rams, I think it's a totally different animal because you're not playing against Ryan Tannehill. You're playing against Matt Stafford, against OBJ, against Cooper Kupp, who caught for 1,900 yards during the regular season. And you talk about that defensive line for the Rams. Yes, you have Aaron Donald coming up the middle, pressing the pocket, but think about the edges they have. You have Leonard Floyd coming off the edge, Von Miller, who they traded for this season, coming off the edge. They're going to be able to get pressure in so many ways with just 4 men rushing. And I think it'll be really tough because offensively the Rams have a lot more than the Titans did. And I'm not going to say they had more than the Chiefs did, but the Chiefs' defense was not able to do enough to really bother Joe Burrow. And not to mention, if the Bengals cannot get the run game going, which the Rams have done a good job stopping the run, I think it'll be a long day. We'll see. Joe Burrow and the Bengals have been very surprising so far. They've made me wrong just about every round of the playoffs so far. But it seems like the Super Bowl is going to be where that ends. Also worth mentioning, that Jalen Ramsey-Jamar Chase matchup is going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely is. Gabe, I appreciate you joining us. We're going to have to leave it there as we're up against the break. But you have a good one. Stay safe. Don't get hit by any tree limbs. And I'll talk to y'all later, all right?
Absolutely. We'll talk to you then. All
right, that is Gabe Kuhn, host of Sports Time on Sports 56 in Memphis, Tennessee. You can follow him on Twitter at G_Kuhn71. Just look for the blue check mark. Yeah, he's got that. He's swagging out. He's styling.
Do they even give those anymore?
Apparently. I mean, I've applied for one.
You're not getting one.
I'm not getting one. I mean, he also has like 3 times the amount of followers on Twitter. I guess when you're a D1 athlete, that kind of helps. It gets you verified. But one of the best guys I know in the business, like I said, I've known him since we were 19, sitting in a journalism classroom together.
And you were copying off of him.
I probably was. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Continuing this is Silly, hour number 2 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This logo. We have to play for 40 minutes tonight to represent this.
Cody with the offensive rebound and a 2-hand flush.
You cannot take anything for granted, guys.
Trapp handles it out front against Note. Jalen Williams flashes for the steal and throws it down with 2 hands.
This game is going to take 40 minutes of as hard as you've ever played all year long.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
At Frank Rowe Furniture in February, already marked down low sale prices plus no sales tax. That's right, you heard it right. A sale plus no sales tax. For instance, a recliner regular $6.99, sale price $5.99. With no sales tax, $5.39. That's a savings of $160. Frank Rowe Furniture offers in-store no credit check financing, SNAP, and ASEMA financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
February is the time to buy at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Well, the weather here at the end of the week hadn't been all that great. That means you guys are hungry to make some deals this weekend.
Oh, hey, we definitely are. You know, and February is the month of love, and we would love to give you an awesome deal on a new Ford or a newer GMC or a Chevrolet. I mean, we've got a ton of vehicles in inventory right now. Right now really is the time to buy for many reasons, but just to keep this short, your vehicle that you're trading in is worth more than it's ever been worth before right now. And we are the home of more for your trade, and we want to give you more than any other dealer. Number two, interest rates are still at an all-time low, and they're about to go up. So let's lock you in on one of these lower interest rates, and still we have banks offering no payment for 90 days. So you're talking about no payment for 90 days, interest rates really low, and we are still home of the more for your trade. So come down here and see us. Love to give you an awesome deal.
Now is the time. Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Seems I've got to have a chance to see him. Every night I have the strangest dream. Imprisoned by the way could have been left you on my own arm. So it seems I've got to leave before I start to scream. For someone at the door and took the key. Feeling alright.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Oh, that's right. We're feeling all right here in the golden hour of Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Feel free Friday, as we've got about 37. Math is tricky. 37 minutes left till the weekend begins. And there's no better way to start the weekend off, or to start any.
It's not a weekend until
this happens. I mean, it's not a week. It's actually not a show until this happens. until the tuna himself, Charlie from Camden, joins us. Charlie, I appreciate you welcoming him on hold, and I want to apologize. I scheduled a guest in your time slot. I'm sorry.
You knew he was supposed to call in.
It escaped me. I'm sorry. I hope that you can, from the bottom of your heart, you can show me the forgiveness and that you won't hold a grudge against me, because I do feel bad. I scheduled somebody in your time slot, and I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, Drew, look, man, you're a smart guy too. You know, you're making friends with offensive linemen. That is the best type of friends you can have. And you know what? I actually enjoyed every bit of it. I was listening to the entire thing. It was actually fun to listen to. I wanted to piggyback off some of the things that he was talking about. But Matty, I also heard beforehand that you're turning the Big 3-9 this
That's
weekend?
correct. Yep.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Happy birthday, man!
Thank you. I
hope
appreciate
you enjoy
it, Charlie.
I'm
I'm really beating myself up about it.
He is.
Well, I mean, Drew, I really think Drew's going to really come after you next year, so you better enjoy this year. I mean, I might have to come
I'm
after
decorating
you
the
too on
studio.
Big 40.
So what I'll do, I'll get a big construction sign that put it right outside the studios here in Barling. It says Matty T is turning 40. We're going to do it big.
I mean, you pick on me and Drew for being so young and dumb and stupid, so we got to return the favor.
Yeah, exactly. I used to be the same way.
I mean, anyway,
back in the day.
Drew, I didn't get a chance to call in the other day. Well, yesterday we were out, the weather and stuff. Anyway, down here it's really not that bad. We're just a bunch of idiots down here in South Arkansas. We'd take off if there was one flake on the ground. Anyway, I wanted to say about the game the other night before I piggyback off a little bit what that lineman just said. Love that, by the way. That was awesome.
Appreciate
Good interview. But great guest to bring in. But anyway, the game the other day, it was crazy. I was watching it, and it was one of those things that, you know, we just had a hot night shooting. I mean, it was going to happen eventually, especially when you got guys that are capable of making some shots. And, you know, it just happens sometimes. You know, and I was thinking about J.D. Note in a sense, like, you know, and Stanley and Mude looking over there at Musk and just say, bro, just sit down. I'm just hot right now. Just sit down. You know, sometimes as a coach, you know, when you got talent like a Stanley and Mude or whoever, you know, JD especially, sometimes you got to live with, you know, especially JD, some of the head scratching things that they do, and because they're going to make up for it. I remember JD turning the basketball over one play the other night, and I saw him flat out 110 miles an hour run all the way back and block a shot from behind, knock the ball out of bounds. I mean, it's just those type of things that you're like, you can't take the guy off the floor because he makes up for his mistakes. J.D. Note is one of those guys. I mean, I really think all these guys are buying into that. When they mess up, they are getting back on defense when they turn it over, and they are finding a way, you know, just to run back 100 miles an hour. And I think that's why Stanley stayed on the floor, too. You know, his defense and his rebounding has really picked up. Even when he's not scoring, at least he's bought into that. And so I think that's the key. Obviously, Mississippi State game, it's going to be an ugly one, but we need to win this game. We cannot go 0-2 against Mississippi State. Also want to piggyback off what the O-lineman just said, man. You know, I love, you know, just what, you know, they're inside and, you know, what, you know, because they don't get enough credit.
No, they don't.
Talk about
not
football.
really.
When you talk about football a lot of times, and we forget how important, you know, those five guys up there are. And, I mean, it makes the whole thing go. It starts there. And, you know, I think, you know, the fact is it's crazy when you think about Cincinnati even being in the Super Bowl, considering that they do have some weaker spots there. They've just been able to find a way. One thing that I think they can do, that they're going to have to do, obviously, and he talked about it, you're going to have to get the ball out of Burrow's hands. But if they can find a way, I'll say this, the Rams' offensive line at times this year has looked horrible, too, because I've watched every one of their games and I had two people on my fantasy team that were, you know, a part of that group. So they're not the greatest up front. The problem is I don't think the Bengals have the goons other than Hendrickson to go get Stafford. You know, the thing with the Rams that they've done a better job of is they stuck with the running game and finding ways, even if they're not necessarily running it well that day, they're finding ways to get a run here or there. And, you know, not just dropping Stafford back. You know, the thing about it, when you drop
10 seconds, Charlie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. We've got to get to break. I'm sorry. Thanks, dude. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was trying to let you finish it, but
we're always fighting the clock.
We're always fighting the clock. Unfortunately, those spots have to be played. Before we do go to break, do want to let you know this hour is brought to you by Crabtree RV. We'd love to give a shout out to our friends at Crabtree RV in Alma. Crabtree RV Center has been serving the River Valley for 72 years. They're family-owned business located on 17 acres at the junction of I-40 and I-49 with easy access to the River Valley and to Northwest Arkansas. And the folks at Crabtree would like to thank all their loyal customers for voting them the best of the best for 7 years in a row. Go by and see Bert and all the gang. Crabtree RV in Alma, right at I-40 and I-49, located right next to the Cracker Barrel. We'll be right back. TJ Reeves, sideline reporter of the Bucs, joins us next on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your car. Like 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil, just $31.95. Plus, get a $10 O'Reilly gift card with your purchase. Extend the life of your vehicle and improve performance with a synthetic oil change. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
Link lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Whether you are visiting one of Arkansas's beautiful national parks, or traveling, or maybe just living the RV lifestyle, Breeden RV has everything you'll need to make your trip a successful one. We have new travel trailers starting at just $158 a month, all the way up to Class A, B, and C motorhomes, and fifth wheels from all the names you know and trust: Thor, Forest River, Coachman, Keystone, and more. Check out the great selection of pre-owned inventory, and we are actively looking to buy your RV as well. BreedenRVs.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
When I was young, I spent my summer days laying on the track. The sound of the wheels rolling on the steel took me out, took me back. Big train from Memphis, big train from Memphis.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of this freezing Friday in the natural state of golden hour. No Phil today. Here, me, Drew Barrett, Matty T, holding down the fort in the fort on this cold and windy day as we have talked everything about the Hogs. They're getting ready to play tomorrow in Bud Walton Arena. Tip-off time at 7:30 against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Plenty of stuff going on around the world of sports. I think one of the biggest news drops, biggest bombs of the week, if not of the last month, has been the retiring of Tom Brady. You got the initial report on Saturday, wondering is it 100% true, couldn't get it confirmed, and then chaos struck, and it struck our next guest, TJ Reeves, the sideline reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as he kind of had to stay low. We were kind of hoping to have him on Tuesday about 2 hours after the news broke, but unfortunately, with the chaos in the situation, TJ told me he had to stay low, so I said, no problem. We'll reschedule it later in the week. So, TJ, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us, and kind of walk us through the chaos that happened Monday and Tuesday as the Tom Brady bomb dropped.
Well, first of all, it is great to be with you. I'm sorry that you're shivering in Northwest Arkansas, so I should not tell you it's an 80-degree day in Tampa Bay. I should not tell you that. Okay, I will not tell you that.
I appreciate
There's plenty of sunshine down here. And by the way, your Hogs were down here for the Outback Bowl on a gorgeous 75-degree day on New Year's Day to beat Penn State, and I did the game on local radio here. I brought some love to the Hogs on local radio for the win, so I'm just putting that out there to try to give some warmth to the people in Northwest Arkansas. But yeah, it has not been dull here this week, and thank you for bearing with me. For the audience, again, Drew and I go back to his days in Memphis when he was producing and on the air in Memphis, and Drew was putting the bat signal up privately and trying to get me on. And I said, listen, when I can get on, when I can come on with you, I'll do it. He stayed after me. Here we are. It's been wild, to say the least, behind the scenes, because I believe there was legitimate belief by the Buccaneers that Tom Brady was waffling on whether or not to retire or not. But obviously, as Sunday became Monday, Monday became Monday night, he's on his own podcast, not saying, "Hey, I'm going to be back for sure." When you didn't hear that, I think everybody was concerned. And then, sure enough, Tuesday morning, there's the social media announcement that after 22 years, after 7 Super Bowl wins, smashing every record imaginable, that's it. The GOAT has walked away after 2 years in Tampa Bay. And I think it's another discussion that we can talk about here in a second about should he have to wait 5 years to go in the Hall of Fame, or should they just do this immediately, Drew Barrett? I don't know.
I don't either, TJ. I think that if there's ever going to be a player that you just said, screw it, let's let him in. Obviously they do that for guys that are dead or, possibly dying. I mean, first one you think of,
right,
like Lou Gehrig got in the Hall, but didn't have to wait the allotment period.
By the way, the NHL did it for Wayne Gretzky immediately. They realized he's the greatest of all time in hockey, and we're not waiting 5 years or 3 years or 15 minutes. We're doing it right now. So there is precedent. You're right.
And I think the best comparison to Wayne Gretzky on the football landscape would definitely be Tom Brady. But as the Bucs organization, were they aware that it was a possibility? Did they get taken, this come out of left field to them? Did they have a plan going forward? What was kind of their build-up and their mentality coming up to this decision by Tom Brady?
Well, I believe they have to be prepared for everything. And Bruce Arians keeps calling it door number 2. He talked about it 2 years ago at this time when the Bucs were deciding whether they would bring Jameis Winston back or not.
And he said, we got to see what's behind door number 2. And holy cow, door number 2 was Tom Brady. And so I don't know that you can guarantee a door number 2 like this 2 years later in 2022, but they have been preparing for what if he does decide that's it at 44 years of age. And so they're looking at free agency. Might there be a blockbuster trade? We saw the L.A. Rams make a blockbuster trade, as you know, as your audience knows, to go get Matt Stafford, the old Georgia Bulldog, out of Detroit, liberate him, almost like a prison break, Drew Barrett. Wait a minute, I get to leave Detroit and come to Los Angeles to begin with, and now look how that worked out. But they traded away a couple of number 1 picks and their starting quarterback, Jared Goff, to make that happen. So are the Bucs eyeing a blockbuster trade like that for somebody like a Russell Wilson that's maybe disgruntled and maybe done in Seattle? I don't know. Will it be a free agent quarterback? I don't know, but they definitely do have plans. It did not catch them completely off guard, but now reality has set in. We got to figure out who the quarterback is for 2022 on a very talented team.
Yeah, it is the most important position on the field for a reason. The quarterback can really set the tone for how your season is going to go. And when you're looking at the future for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and still a lot of great talent on both sides of the ball, is it go get your quarterback for a short stint? I mean, obviously, I don't think Russell Wilson's really got that many years left in him. I think he's still a great quarterback and can help a team win a championship. When do you kind of stop doing the quick fixes and start looking for that quarterback of the future as far as draft goes, as far as, maybe plucking a backup from somewhere else, seeing if you can't develop him? When does that timeline start?
Well, it's a good question, and the Bucs have one of those guys in Kyle Trask, the former Florida Gator who they drafted in the second round last year. Remember, Trask had such a tremendous season at Florida in the 2020 campaign. They ended up losing to Alabama in a wild SEC high-scoring title game and got beat. Trask ended up not playing in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas against Oklahoma. He opted out and said, hey, I'm just going to get ready for the NFL draft, and Florida ended up getting wiped out by Oklahoma. They had several other players that opted out as well, and Oklahoma beat the daylights out of them. So Trask has been the understudy. He's been watching Tom Brady all year, meeting room, practice field, didn't get on the field in the regular season, played some in the preseason. This is world according to TJ, Drew. You always love this about me. I don't have a problem with trying Kyle Trask at this point. Looking what Mac Jones of Alabama did with the New England Patriots, looking at what Joe Burrow has done for the 2 years in Cincinnati, even off the torn ACL. Look how good he was in this second season. Look at how good Tua was as the full-time starter, another Alabama quarterback, down in Miami, and their offensive line isn't very good. So those are 3 examples of SEC quarterbacks that have been somewhere else, and right away, Mac Jones is a rookie this year, demonstrating, yes, a learning curve, but they can get it done, and probably not even with the same weapons the Buccaneers have. So my bottom line point is I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world that you give Kyle Trask the shot with a veteran backup there in the event that he's injured or his play is ineffective and you want to go to the veteran backup. Again, that's world according to TJ. That's not necessarily what they're going to do. I just wouldn't be as concerned as some are if they give Trask the shot.
And I also want another view from World of TJ, and I kind of wanted your actual view because we haven't had you on since before the season, right before Tampa played the Cowboys. And I know one of the biggest stories revolving around the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year has been somewhat of a negative one in Antonio Brown. You were in New York. What was your view from the sidelines, Mr. Sideline Reporter, of seeing it?
My friend, I was 20 feet away from it, and as we sit here and still talk on this Friday in February, I still have to ask myself, did I really watch that? It was 20 feet away, and I am on the radio, off the air, telling my boss, off the air, my Buccaneer radio boss, he is taking his jersey and pads off. Come to me. The Bucs are about to run a third down play with Tom Brady. I'm like, come to me. And I described to Gene what's going on, Gene Deckerhoff, our Hall of Fame play-by-play announcer. I'm like, Gene, he has taken off his jersey and his pads and thrown them down right in front of me and is now running towards the end zone, the empty end zone here at MetLife Stadium while the Bucs are at the other end of the field getting ready to run a play. It was as bizarre as anything I have been part of in 30 years of doing this in sports media. I was right there, ringside for the mayhem. And, wow. I mean, we could talk for another 15 minutes about that whole situation, but obviously Antonio Brown imploded. He needs help. I'm no psychiatrist. I'm just playing one on your show, Drew Barrett. he obviously needs some kind of help with the behavior and the stuff that he was doing, and that's as crazy as anything I've been part of, and I was right there. I kept getting text messages, social media messages from people taking my picture and showing the mean video of me standing there behind a shirtless Antonio Brown. I'm the Where's Waldo in the background, Drew, for that one. I was right there.
That is great. I don't know how you were able to talk after that. I feel like I'd be in one of the most speechless moments, just kind of staring, going, there's no way this is actually happening. Not just in a game, but in a game that the Bucs were trying to come back in.
Yes.
I mean, they ended up winning the game, but it's not like you would normally think Tampa Bay at New York against the Jets. Okay, it's probably a blowout. This was an actual game that the Buccaneers needed.
And it was close, and they had the ball, and suddenly he's not only not going in the game, he has pulled the ejection handle to leave. It's one of the craziest moments of 2021 in sports in this country for sure, and it is a footnote on a wild Buccaneer season. They did come back to win that game. They did go on to win a playoff game, but then they came up short in a valiant comeback, down 27-3 against the LA Rams, came back to tie the game only to have the Rams beat them. And now we'll see if the Rams go on to be crowned as Super Bowl champions or not. But I can't say enough to you and everybody else when I'm doing these interviews. It has just been a tremendous experience to be around Tom Brady, even in a short sample, just for 2 years. It was 20 years in New England. But even being around it for 2 years, it was great to watch this, and he's playing at such a high level. I mean, he threw that bomb, Drew, to Mike Evans late in that Rams game in the final quarter, right in front of me, right over the top of Jalen Ramsey. And I'm like, he's still got it. Anybody that wonders if at 44 he can still make the throws, what a tremendous throw that was. You would be happy with a quarterback at 34 that's making that throw, not 44 years of age. So Brady, it's not a physical decision. It's not because he can't physically play anymore. He's just decided for the family reasons, the emotional part. At some point, you've got to move on to the next phase of your life. He's decided to do that, not for the physical reasons, but for life after football reasons. There you go.
We're talking with TJ Reese, sideline reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Only got a few more minutes left, TJ, and I do want to get your opinion on the big Super Bowl matchup. You brought up Joey B a minute ago, just talked about how he played against the Rams. What's your thoughts on the matchup? Does Matt Stafford finally get that Super Bowl ring because he's got all the statistics? Everything else is kind of the one thing maybe keeping him out of the hall. Or is Joe Burrow truly, Joe Cool, Joe Namath? Is he more of a Broadway Joe Namath? I mean, what kind of matchup do you think this is going to be, and who do you think comes out on top?
It's wild. I mean, Cincinnati has not been playoff relevant since Bush the Elder was the president and MC Hammer was releasing You Can't Touch This in 1990 with the parachute pants. That's the last time the Bengals were this relevant, much less Super Bowl relevant. And what an amazing comeback to be down 21-3 on the road at Kansas City and win that game. How do you count Cincinnati out? They're going to have a puncher's chance. I just like the Rams at home with the moves they made to get Odell Beckham, to get Von Miller, the pass rusher. Von Miller terrorized the Buccaneers in the playoff win in Tampa. He was tremendous again against the 49ers. He may be the key against what is really a banged-up Cincinnati offensive line. I mean, Burrow was taking hits and sacks in that game with the Chiefs. He was just relentless and kept playing hard. I just don't know with 2 weeks to get ready, I don't know how he solves that Ram defense completely, and they're playing them in L.A. in their stadium. So I think ultimately it is the Rams that will come out on top. But what a great story for Burrow and Cincinnati. They had never won a road playoff game, ever. Boomer Esiason, Ickey Woods, none of it. They had never won a road playoff game, and they won in Nashville over Tennessee, and now slayed Mahomes and the Chiefs in comeback fashion in Kansas City. It's a wild ride for Joe Burrow in only year number 2, for sure.
Oh, it really is. And real quick, because we're really up against the break here, I just wanted to make you feel old. Last time Cincinnati was in this situation in the Super Bowl, I wasn't born yet. Still about 4 years away.
You were not on the planet. That's why you don't know about parachute pants. And Joe Montana breaking Cincinnati's heart with a last-second touchdown drive. And Drew Barrett wasn't on the planet. You are making me feel old on a Friday, but I still love you so, and I'm happy to be with you, and I'm glad we were able to make it work and come on.
Hey, I appreciate it, TJ. You have a great day, and try to stay warm because that's what we're all trying to do up here in Northwest Arkansas.
We'll
all right?
send you some sunshine and some warmth. I'll send you some pictures or some video to try to warm it up there and thaw the ice a little bit. You guys be well, be safe, and let's see what those Hogs do in the hoops here. I'm liking what I see out of them right now, my friend. Good to be with you. Call me anytime.
Hey, I appreciate it, TJ. That is TJ Reeves, sideline reporter of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You follow him on Twitter at Buck Sideline Guy. When we come back, me and Matty T will finish out your Friday and finish out hour number 2. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hanging out with my buddy Rocky at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Rocky, Rubicons, you have a few to choose from, don't you?
Man, I've got a couple. We've been a Jeep lot here for the last few weeks, but I've got a pretty yellow one. It's a 20 model, low miles, white one, and then we've got a slate gray colored one out there.
Yeah.
Good looking rigs.
Those are good looking rigs. Hey, so if someone's looking for something that's fun, you have Jeeps to choose from, you have Mustangs, Mustang convertibles, and how about the Mustang Mach-1 on the showroom floor?
Man, that's it. That's a limited production car, and I've got one of them brand new right here on the showroom.
It's a beautiful car. If someone comes in today, they're looking to make that purchase, you'll be able to take care of them.
A couple doors open up, a few pieces of paper you got to sign, and we'll get it out of here for you.
Guaranteed credit approval, Ford Motor Credit.
That's all you got to do.
There you go. Come by and see my buddy Rocky or one of the other sales professionals. Listen, they will take care of you and treat you like family. They've been doing this thing for over 114 years. Right here in the River Valley at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
Start the new year at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's Grill and Cantina has daily specials like Mexicali Monday with 2 of your favorite sides, Taco Tuesdays with crispy tacos just $1 each, and don't forget everyone's favorite Fajita Fridays. And watch every Hogs game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every televised game. The best Tex-Mex in town is at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
All right.
2022 annual passes are now available at the Ben Guerin Golf Course. We offer a variety of plans to fit your budget and needs. We have special pricing on juniors, seniors, and military. If you're looking for the best golf value in the River Valley, then look no further than Ben Guerin Golf Course. Book your 2022 tournament outings now. For more information, call the Pro Shop at 646-5301, go to benguerinGolf.com, or follow us on Facebook. When you think golf, think Ben Guerin.
Here it comes. Oh, my goodness.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has 2 locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
Save up to $5,000 and get a free saltwater system upgrade when you create the backyard of your dreams this summer with Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for my good friends at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Right now is the time to plan that backyard oasis, that backyard of your dreams. Save $5,000 in the month of February when you sign up now. And I'll tell you what, Burton's is going one extra. Be one of the first 7 families to stop by or give them a call at Burton's and get a free upgrade to the saltwater system. This makes taking care of your pool so much easier and will save you a ton of money on chemicals each and every month. That's a nearly $2,000 upgrade. You get it free when you call right now at Burton Pools and Spas. Save $5,000 and get a free upgrade this month at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, they are your source for backyard fun.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
It's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife. But I've been working, man, dang near all my life, and I'll keep on working. Long as my two hands are fit to use. I'll drink my beer in a tavern, sing a little bit of these working man blues.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Last segment of a feel-free Friday, snow day, ice day, pretty day.
I feel
it's
like
pretty.
This feel-free Friday has really flown by.
It really has. Well, you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun.
It's true.
And you know where you can go to have a lot of fun? 906 Cocktail
right.
Cigar Bar and Lounge at 906 Garrison Avenue, where they have the upscale social lounge offering the finest spirits, wine, and cigars in the natural state. And I know it's a lot of you thinking, Mrs. thinks about it a lot. Oh, cigar smoke. I don't want to smell like that. Well, you're not going to smell like cigar smoke at 906. They don't just refresh the air. They don't have like a few air fresheners around. They replace it.
It's completely changed
changed.
With brand new fresh air.
Exactly. You're not breathing in any carbon monoxide that was eventually in you're not bringing in any smoke. It is replaced every 4 minutes at 906 for the best comfort and best experience for not only their cigar smokers, but for their non-smokers. Maddie, what do they got going on this weekend?
Well, this weekend, tomorrow, they have the Truck Stop Poets from 8 p.m. to midnight performing, and they say the Poets drive the groove on home. And happy hour tomorrow is 4 to 7 p.m. on the in the Cocktail Piano. So now they have not announced yet if they're going to be open today, but check their Facebook page.
They should update us soon.
Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on Facebook, and they'll let you know if they're going to be open here this evening.
Exactly. That's 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge at 906 Garrison Avenue right here in downtown Fort Smith. Man, Maddie, it really did fly by. I mean, we
have
literally
so much
got
stuff
a minute
I want
left.
to talk about.
Rapid fire, go.
Okay, well, I want to let everybody know all of the important information. Oh, geez, we only got 40 seconds
40,
left.
come on.
All right, if you're going to be out on the roads, drive safely.
Drive
That's
safe.
important. You
Of
haven't
course,
heard
of
that
course.
before. Pump your brakes.
Pump your brakes.
Instead of slamming them
Don't
on.
slam it. You'll skid.
Be kind to your neighbors.
Be kind to your neighbors. Exactly. Reverend Paul can get behind that one.
Tell somebody you love them today, even if you don't know them.
Praise be. Tell them you love them.
Man, that's all I got. Hopefully Phil will be back on Monday. I won't be here Monday.
Maddie will not be. So, real quick, we got about 10 seconds. Happy birthday to Mr. Matthew Travis. You guys don't know how much he does around this studio. Everything. We could not function without him. Happy birthday. For Phil, for Maddie, I'm Drew. Keep on listening. ESPN Arkansas, HitThatLine.com.
The company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing